Now, the Trump administration has invoked the Wartime Alien Enemies Act to deport hundreds of alleged members of a Venezuelan gang to El Salvador. The deportations were announced after a judge had temporarily blocked the effort on Saturday, raising questions over the legality of the move. NBC News White House correspondent Aaron Gilchrist joins us now on all this. Hey, Aaron, good morning. So walk us through how and why the White House deported these people, even though there was this court order forbidding the move. Remind us what that court order said.
Yeah, so Savannah, it's a little convoluted, probably not surprisingly, but the White House has been adamant that it did not violate this court order that came down on Saturday. If we back up a little bit, the ACLU went to court on Saturday based on the fact that it believed the president was going to somehow invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. And in that process, the judge issued a restraining order that was later rewritten a bit to be more expansive, to include all non-U.S. citizens who were in custody in this country. At the same time, the president signed a proclamation that enacted this Alien Enemies Act and directed members of his administration to deport these particular gang members, these Venezuelan gang members, out of the United States. There's debate now about whether there was a plane in the air that should have been turned around based on the judge's order that was not turned around. Went on after the judge verbally issued that order. The government has been arguing that there was a period of time between when the words came out of the judge's mouth and when a written order was filed. Based on the written order, they say it didn't violate the judge's order. That'll be debated in court for some time. I do want you to hear what President Trump had to say. This was overnight as he was on Air Force One coming back to D.C. He was asked directly, did the administration violate a court order? Here's his response.
I don't know. You have to speak to the lawyers. I can tell you this. These were bad people. That was a bad group of, as I say, hombres. That was a bad group. When you look at them and you look at the crimes that they've committed, you take a look. You don't get any tougher. You don't get worse than that.
Now, the court filings continue. The plaintiffs in this case want to see the government issue some sort of sworn statements before this judge saying that they did not violate the court order and sort of walking through the timing of the actions that were taken that allowed for these couple of hundred gang members, according to the administration. We don't actually know who these people are. They landed in El Salvador and were handed over to the government there to be put into prisons in that country, Savannah. So to be continued on this story until there is another court hearing or more court hearings.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.